If you're late, you get to the mess as soon as possible, grab your food, run to the class.
The classes start sometimes at 8:30 or 9:30 and they last till 4:30 or 5:30.
Student life at Bennett for me is pretty hectic, but because I enjoy everything I do, it's fun most of the time.
We get free by 5:30. We're done for the day by 5:30, and after that it's our time.
So the mess is basically the hub of Bennett University. Every student after the classes, before the classes, evening time, be it day, be it morning, be it dinner time, you're going to find majority of the students sitting inside the mess, basically hanging out with their friends.
We keep on having events and competitions every week, so these things never let, life at Bennett get boring.
When I'm just free, so I can go up to the music room to jam up with someone.
In the last 8 months, for which I've lived in the hostel, I've changed completely. It's like I've become independent, I do my stuff on my own. Basically, I don't have mom around, so everything falls onto me.
It really helps me build myself into the person I want to be.
We have a football ground, we have lawn tennis courts, we have basketball courts, we have badminton courts, we have a swimming pool, we have an entire gym, and I try to utilize the max out of it. This is me, and this is my university, Bennett University.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Friday evening edition of Webinar with the Students, the Student Diaries, organized by Bennett University, where we discuss about a particular program offered at Bennett. We talk about the curriculum, pedagogy, we discuss about the infrastructure, internship and placement opportunities, and most importantly, campus life and hostel facilities offered at Bennett. My name is Anirban Das, and I'm a part of the admissions marketing and outreach team at Bennett University. And today we'll be discussing about a very important program in the field of engineering, which is offered only in few universities in India. And the program is called BTech in Engineering Physics. And what better way to find out about how the program is, and in fact, how Bennett University is offering a fruitful career to the students in this particular program, than asking it from the students who are pursuing this course. And for that purpose, I've got a couple of brilliant students from the Department of Engineering Physics with me. Firstly, I've got Aakash Warke, who is finally a student at Bennett University pursuing the course of BTech Engineering Physics. And I am also joined by Dhruv Pasari, who is a third-year student at Bennett University pursuing the course of BTech in Engineering Physics. So welcome, Aakash and Dhruv. I'll just give you a brief about what is going to happen today. The entire session would be of 30 minutes. And we have got a lot of questions from the students and the prospect students who are willing to pursue the course of BTech Engineering Physics at Bennett University. We have segregated the most relevant questions, which we're going to place in front of you, Aakash and Dhruv. And while we give you feedback and answer to the questions, the students and the parents who are watching us live in YouTube and all the people who will be watching the recorded session in YouTube would have a fair idea about the program BTech Engineering Physics, which is a very niche course. and how Bennett University is preparing the students for the future when it comes to this course of BTech Engineering. Without wasting any time, let us jump into the question. So my first question will come to you, Aakash, because you are the senior among both the students. So you have, joined Bennett University in the year 2018, and you are about to complete the course here at Bennett, a 4-year course. So the first question to you would be, when you've completed your class 12 in the year 2018, what made you choose a career or maybe a program in BTech Engineering Physics? And 80% or 90% student wants to do a BTech in CSE, then few of them wants to do a mechanical or maybe ECE. But then this is a very niche course offered at few of the IITs. And if I talk about private university, Bennett is the only one that is giving it right now. So what made you choose this course right now, Aakash? And the second question to follow it up would be, once you've decided you'd be taking up engineering physics, why did you choose Bennett University to be the university of your choice? So over to you, Aakash, for the questions that you would give an.
Yes. So hi, everyone who is watching this. I am Aakash. I am a final year student at the university in engineering physics. And yes, so I think if a student is interested in physics and mathematics right from the start, then engineering physics is definitely a course that they would want to have as an option. If they are very good at it, then it can be turned into a career option as well. Engineering physics is a stream that forms a foundation for any other field, to be honest. So example, it teaches you simulations, it teaches you a lot of other things that are required in the other fields as well. And I think engineering physics, this was the idea with which I went along. And apart from this, I was highly interested in physics right from the beginning. So this was an easy option for me. And like you said, Bennett is among the few universities that offers it in India. And this is a rapidly growing stream with a lot of people taking it every year. So Bennett is a good option if engineering physics has to be the case.
All right. So we'll come with the same question. I will ask it to your junior student who is joined with us, Dhruv. Dhruv, the same question will come to you. You have joined the university in 2019 when you've cleared your class 12 board exams. So the same question to you. Why did you choose engineering physics as a career? And what made you choose Bennett University?
Yeah, hi. So was that, so I had initially planned for a BSc in physics, but then a 4-year course matters a lot more than a 3-year course, because it opens up a lot of scope, it opens up job opportunities, and then you can directly do a PhD and such. You don't have the need for a master's. So it gives you something to fall back on, because of BSc physics doesn't give you much as a scope in the future, whereas a BTech in engineering physics teaches you physics with a overall view, where you're taught engineering with physics, the two streams which go along pretty well. And then so that was my main idea, to go for a 4-year course instead of a 3-year course, which has a good view over teaching. And then the main reason for choosing Bennett was because of its faculty. So I mean, when you look at the faculty from physics, you'll see that almost all of our professors have international experience, and they are big names in their fields, and they have a lot of experience. So that was the main reason for choosing Bennett and engineering physics from my side.
Right. That kicks us, in fact, starts the entire discussion about the particular course we'll be discussing today, engineering physics, where, both Aakash and Dhruv has mentioned the fact that, obviously you have to have an interest into this particular field. Obviously, you have to be very good in mathematics and physics to look forward for a niche course like this. Secondly, yes, any day, a 4-year course is better than a 3-year course, plus you're getting an engineering degree, which is giving you a lot of scope for, future prospects of future. Thirdly, obviously, as we have discussed, that Bennett University is perhaps one of the few private universities, in fact, after the IITs, that provides this course of engineering physics. And obviously, Dhruv has mentioned about the quality of faculties. We'll come to that in a later period of time. Now, talking about engineering physics, what the students wanted to know more about is about the curriculum. So, Aakash, you've completed 4 years. Dhruv, you've completed about 3 years. So we want to know more from you about the curriculum that has been offered at Bennett University. So we'll start with Aakash and Dhruv. Obviously, you've got more options right now, which you can add up to once Aakash is done. So Aakash, if you can just give us a brief about the curriculum the students are expecting from first year till the final year in this field of engineering physics.
Yes. So, one thing that I have observed at Bennett University is that the specialization starts right after the first semester, which is from the second, which is a really, really good setup, because you start specializing in your own interests right from the first semester, right after the first semester, which gives you a lot of which eventually broadens your horizon over these 3.5 years and makes you well versed in one particular area, which is what physicists require in today's generation. So Bennett gives you that opportunity, and I don't think I have heard of any other university as such that has specializations right after the first semester. So this is a big plus point for Bennett. And another thing is that the curriculum, as you mentioned, there are a lot of courses in the first and the second semester which are very important as an engineering physics student. And what happens after the first year is that you start being given electives and you start choosing things as per your interests, which is again a really good option. And I'm pretty sure other universities offer this as well, but it more depends on what kind of courses you have, how advanced they are. And as things have been mentioned, since the faculty is internationally acclaimed, the courses are very rigorous. And since the student to faculty ratio is 8:1, these classes become more of a discussion rather than a lecture. And that is why by the end of the course, you go into a lot of depth about that topic.
Right. Perfectly mentioned. And this is something, again, I would like to highlight to all the students who will be watching this program or maybe watching us live right now. This particular department has a very limited seats. It's unlike the other departments of engineering where there would be some 60, 70, 80 seats, very limited seats. And that's where I think Aakash has mentioned the student to teacher ratio is wonderful. In fact, it's optimum, so that, it's not that the faculty is only telling and the student are grasping. It's a two-way scenario where the students are also sharing their thoughts, and that's where learning becomes interesting. So talking about the curriculum, we have Dhruv with us. So maybe Dhruv, if you can add something, which very rightly mentioned by Aakash, Bennett University provides the option of specialization right from the second semester, which is very, very unique. So Dhruv, you would like to add upon something on this?
Right. So how the specialization, of course, we have all kinds of departmental electives and open electives. Like you can choose from anywhere from a course of law or management to a course from like mathematics or mechanical or anything. Like you have a vast choice because of the interdisciplinary institution that is Bennett. And then also the departmental electives, like many other colleges have this, that it's pseudo elective. I mean, the department sets the elective and you don't actually have elective in reality. But in Bennett, what happens is they offer you electives from all different fields of physics. Like they'll offer you electives from nonlinear dynamics and chaos. They'll offer you from optics, from energy physics, from condensed matter physics, and from all kinds of things. So if you have a particular interest, you can streamline yourself towards that. So that is a very good point about the courses at Bennett. And the courses, as mentioned, are really rigorous. So, but the teachers are really into it. Like they are really interested. I mean, just coming to give lectures and way. They are interested in the process of teaching and learning. So that makes the courses really entertaining, actually. So yeah, that's, and also the courses which are offered, they perfectly go along with our courses like Python, and then we have C++. We know we need those perfect combination of everything which make.
Yes, and was Dhruv audible clearly?
Yeah, Dhruv, we heard you, but the final part was just missing where you spoke about the programming languages. You spoke about Python and C++, and you also mentioned that you're not missing out on anything when a student studies engineering physics, and that's what we began with. It's a mix of any other course of engineering, but then you get a profitable niche part of physics too in this particular curriculum. That's what we have discussed. And we also spoke about specializations, and I would like to mention to all the audience who are watching us live today, this particular course of engineering physics, BTech engineering physics, also gives a better specializations to the students when it comes to specializations. We have nanoscience and nanotechnology, and the world is moving towards nanoscience right now. And we also give specialization in quantum technology, which is also something that the students should look forward to, apart from what the student, my current students, Dhruv and Aakash, has mentioned. Now, talking about the particular course, another important factor would be, the internships, because whenever we talk about engineering, it is well beyond what is being taught in the classroom. Internship plays a very important role. So I'll come to Aakash first. If you can just help us by understanding how many internships would be provided within this course, what would be the tenure, and how important it is to have internship within the curriculum of engineering. So Aakash, over to you.
Answering the last part, internships are very important, at least in physics. I mean, of course, everywhere as well, but physics defines, the internships would define what kind of physicist, or at least a graduate, you're going to be. And in that case, I guess my first internship was right after the first year, when one of the professors, Dr. Ayan Khan, helped me with applying and all of that. Yeah, right after my first year, I did an internship at ISER Kolkata, where we were given a lot of lectures on quantum technology and so on and so forth, which allowed me to streamline my specialization in that. So basically, because of these specializations, I would like to add one point, is that Dhruv and I have been able to understand or know what we want to do in the future, and I think Bennett has played an important part in that. So anyway, moving to the internships part, yeah, they are very important, and we have, I mean, after the second year, you have a compulsory internship that is required, and yeah, third year has a summer internship as well, and you have a R&D project in the final semester where you can find it yourself, or the university provides it for you. So this also is in physics. I did my R&D project in Germany. It was funded, and this is what Bennett provides, a good base for your future actions and plans. So yeah, a lot of
right. Right. So Dhruv, would you want to add something about the internships, because you're in the third year, so I'm sure you would have done a couple of them. So your take on the internships here.
Yeah, so internships, they help a lot. So like in the beginning, I like, okay, so I want to go towards high energy physics plus quantum information sciences. So, but then when you work out with stuff, you get to know what all the field offers. So like I recently did my internship at IIT Guwahati on neutrino physics. So it allowed me to get a picture on how the field is progressing and how an amalgamation of the two, how I can use quantum information plus high energy physics to make something out unique in the field and like apply it in the field, and how it's growing, like who else is doing it. So these internships, they help out a lot in that way. Plus we also have major projects, which are kind of internships offered within Bennett, which you have to do it in your 6th and 7th semester. And those you have to be guided under the professors, and you have to take up any topic you like. You can take it up under the professor, and it itself is, the major project itself is kind of an internship, and it allows you to grow a lot and understand about the field a lot in which you might want to go or you might want to explore.
Right. That's correctly mentioned by both the students. For any engineering courses, an internship plays a very important role, and both the students have done their internships. And also Dhruv has mentioned about the final project that comes into play, and that is very, very important when you do a course of engineering, especially at engineering physics. And they've also mentioned how the faculties have been helpful, how the faculties have helped them to go through their internship and carry it forward. And whenever they face any doubt, they have come and jumped for their rescue and helped them. So we would want to know more about faculties right now from both of you. Aakash, you've completed almost 4 years at the campus. In the meantime, also we had gone through a torrid time through the COVID, when every university had to shift into the online mode. So we want to know how the faculties have functioned within this period, both while you are doing classes offline or while you are doing classes online. So a bit of feedback from your end about the faculty members. You've already mentioned about Professor Dr. Ayan Khan. So just may help us understanding, and in fact the students understanding about the quality of faculty and the kind of extra help the faculty provides at Bennett.
So yeah, I'll trace back to the student to faculty ratio. It is around 8:1, and that is what allows you to have your videos on during online lectures. And this you can concentrate on every student when that happens, when every video is on and the student to faculty ratio is less. So this is what allowed the faculties to adapt easily to the online situation, because if you have a class of like 500 students, then you will not be able to know what who is paying attention, who is not paying attention, and you will end up, I don't know how. So anyway, but what happens in an 8:1 class is that the faculty is able to see the student and is able to understand whether or not the student is being able to grasp these concepts and stuff. So that is exactly what Bennett has been able to do, at least the physics department. And yeah, the adaptability has been quite amazing. And to be honest, we learned the same amount of things that we were doing in the offline classes as well. So I'm not really disappointed at all.
Right. So Dhruv, over to you about this particular feedback on faculty members. You've also done classes in both online and offline. I'm sure when the students would be joining in for the fresh batch in 2022, everything would be into the offline mode. So your feedback about the faculties on any extraordinary help that you've received from them.
Like in the online mode, everyone was stressed. It was a difficult situation for all of us. So I mean, our faculty, Umesh Kanda sir, he organized a music session in one of the classes to like let out the steam and like relax. And all the faculties, in fact, they are always there to listen to you. They are not just there to teach you, lecture you, and go away. They are there to teach you life skills also along with the physics. So yeah, you can always go to talk. And like you can discuss anything with them really. So yeah, they're amazing. And then in the transition from offline to online was pretty easy for us because, as Aakash mentioned, the teachers could see everyone what they're doing. So Aakash mentioned that we learned almost the same amount, but I guess we might even have learned quite a bit more in the online mode because there was no running back and forth from the classes. So we just were in the online mode. You can just everything. So yeah. Back to the transition, like when we went from online to offline, we were scared because then our exams, we were giving it for so long in the online mode. So it becomes a weird thing to go back to offline. It becomes weird to transition to like up at 8 a.m. and then take a bath, dress up, and really cooperative and helpful. And they made the classes really simple. And they come back to offline classes and meet the friends in the. So yeah, I mean the faculty. Am I not audible?
Yes, you are, but a little bit in the middle you were lost. But then we've got the fair amount of idea that you've wanted to tell us. In fact, you've spoken about the fact that, faculties actually go to an extent where they make you comfortable. You've spoken that one of the faculty members that actually played physics and helped you to get into the scenario of online classes. You've also mentioned the fact that, you might have learned a little more while the online classes were happening. And I think that's rightly mentioned by both Aakash and Dhruv. Being the student and the faculty ratio being very less, individual assistant is something that everybody wants to look forward. So when you have more than 50, 60 students in a classroom, that's what it lacks. And here in this particular department, wherein the student and faculty ratio is very optimum, because of the fact that there are limited seats in this particular course itself, that's where it helps. Because at the end of the day, when you have a wonderful course, you need to have wonderful faculties, and these faculties have to be there at your back to provide you any kind of assistance that you require within this course. Rightly mentioned Dhruv and Aakash about the faculties and about the help that you've been getting, because most of the faculties at Bennett University, not only for engineering physics but also for other departments, are from PhD holders from various international acclaimed universities. So we have this particular thing at the BTech in engineering physics department too. Now, when we talk about the curriculum, we've also spoken about the internship. We now understand that brilliant faculties that Bennett University has. Now we'll move towards a little bit where we'll talk about the infrastructure. So Aakash and Dhruv, firstly to Aakash, we want to know more about the lab and the facilities that are provided within the labs, because again, we feel that this is another important thing that actually assists a student while you're looking forward to go a course and do a course in BTech in engineering physics. Talk us through about the labs and infrastructures. Aakash first and then Dhruv.
Oh, yes. So we were given, we had around 2 courses at least for offline for our physics lab, advanced physics lab 1 and 2, which had a lot of experiments from Hall effect or current interferometry, and which requires lasers, which requires a little bit of MATLAB, Mathematica simulations and stuff. So yeah, these experimental facilities were excellent. And as far as I am, we had a course on MATLAB as well. I mean, we were taught MATLAB very extensively during one of the semesters, and that's what helps, I think. And these skills are extremely important to develop yourself into an experimentalist. So I think this is what Bennett has offered. And I think the recent advances in these labs, Dhruv may be able to tell more, because it is continuously developing. Every year you add new infrastructures, and Dhruv may be able to tell about this a little more.
Right.
Great. So that is something, again, wonderful to hear. So over to you, Dhruv, if you just want to add something about this, because I'm sure you've also completed 3 years and you have a lot to say about the labs and infrastructure.
Right. So the labs, like we have quite a lot of lab courses. We have the 2 lab courses. Then we have a lab in the nanophysics course. We have a lab in the optics course. So there's quite a lot of weightage in the lab, and there's also computational lab. So we in physics department, we have our own computational lab where you have courses such as computational modeling of materials, and then you have computational physics where you're taught Fortran and how to program, how to do numerical methods programming and such. So yeah, and then in the nanotechnology lab, we had a recent addition of sputtering machine. And then we have experiments in quantum technology like quantum eraser, which are like really interesting. And I mean, they are really painful to do it, but once you see the output, it's amazing. So yeah, the experiments, you get it from basic experiment to the top level of experiments. So yeah, you have all kind of experiments here, and then these are integrated into the course very well so that you understand them with the ongoing course. It's not just the experiments are totally different from what you're taught within the course. So that's what makes it an amazing experience. Yeah, the lab, how you see the experimental things work out along with the theory. Yeah.
Wonderful. So we've had a fair bit of discussion with in fact, both the students, both Aakash and Dhruv. And now we've already discussed about the curriculum. They've both mentioned that we have to build a strong foundation in physics and maths, and then only you'd be looking forward for a course of BTech in engineering physics, which is obviously better than the BSc physics course offered, because it's a 4-year course right now offered at Bennett University. Mind you, Bennett University also offers the BSc physics course. In case you want to do a 3-year course, this is being offered from this year at Bennett. We also spoke about the kind of internships that are being provided, which is important. I think Aakash spoke about the fact that in the second semester itself, you get specializations. We spoke about the quality of faculties, the faculty members who have or research experience from renowned laboratories in Germany, in France, Netherlands, Sweden, Finland, etc. I would like to tell to all the audience, Bennett University has 4 extremely funded DBT and DST projects, which are worth more than 6 million rupees right now. So this is something which is a feather in the cap for the engineering physics department. We also spoke about another important part in the curriculum where there's a basic mix of basic science, engineering science, and social science informed by the students. And right now we also discussed about the labs, the labs, which are very, very important infrastructures. Students spoke about computation, students spoke about lab of automation and tools such as MATLAB and Mathematica. So this is something which is very important. The students also spoke about nanotechnology, material science, which is very, very important right now, along with the quantum information. Now we'll move forward towards the non-academic part, because if you've understood about this product or maybe the program of engineering physics and how valuable it is and how beautifully Bennett has structured the entire curriculum along with the faculty members to support with it. So both Dhruv and Aakash, there are parents and students who wants to put their son or daughter at the Bennett University, but are skeptical about hostel facilities being provided, about the campus life. So we would want to hear from you. I think both of you would have already stayed in the hostels of Bennett. So Aakash, from you, if you can just talk about the hostel facilities and the campus life at Bennett, just a few details to go by it.
The rooms are excellent. I mean, as they should be, and Bennett does provide good rooms to study. It's quite peaceful, and you can have your own lamps. You can have any sort of peaceful setting that you want to study and become a little more productive. So that's what I had over the course of how much ever time I stayed at Bennett. And yeah, the food is quite amazing, and yeah, you've got good sports complexes that include every other sport, badminton, and that was shown in the video as well. So this is really my world, and I've had a lot of fun living in Bennett and learning things offline.
So Dhruv, your point of view or your idea about the hostel facilities and the campus life that you've enjoyed for the last 3 years. I think we have lost Dhruv because of internet connection.
So the best thing about the hostels is these are 24 hours. So even like one of the top. Yeah. So I was saying that the geyser connection is the 24-hour connection, which was the best thing that's have it. So yeah, that was really amazing. And then on any time. So those two things are really important for the student and for his comfort in the college and for the parents as well. So yeah, those two things are one of my priorities. And then we also have students from all around the world and all kinds of courses. So you get to meet a lot of people there. You get to meet people from all kind of streams, and you get to meet people from all kind of cultures and such. So you make friends for life. Of course, you know, with the college friends you make, they last for life. So of course, you're gonna have a great experience in the hostel. And then the sports facilities, we have tennis, squash, basketball. We have an amazing gym. We have boxing. We also, we have football, volleyball, cricket, and everything. Yeah, sports is quite. And then the food, the mess is, it's of course they have quite a lot of options. They serve quite a lot of different varieties of food throughout the week. And we also have options in the form of different outlets inside the campus. So we have the outlets for health geeks who want to stay healthy. So we have our Quench, where they serve those protein shakes and all those juices. Then we have the Chai Okay Please and so such, we do have those things on the campus. So yeah, it's an amazing experience overall. And yeah, even there's a tuck shop, so you won't face any kind of deficiency of any supplies. Like if you want Maggie for your late night munching or some kind of chips and anything, you can buy those things from the tuck shop. Yeah. So
thank you. That is something very, very important, because, you know, when a student comes to a university to study, obviously academics plays an important role, but the surroundings, which you both spoke about, also helps a lot, because, you know, you need to have that kind of mentality. You need to have a peace of mind, and you need to have a proper, you know, place where you would be coming back after a tiring session in the classroom and relax upon. And also you spoke about the mess facilities. You also spoke about the sports facilities. So I'm sure there are students who are interested in sports. There are students who would want to go and relax in the gym and other areas of sports which are offered at the university. And rightly mentioned, you've got a tuck shop wherein you would have enough amount of supplies which would be required by a student in carrying out their day-to-day life. So that is something which is, I'm sure, all the students and the parents watching us would be very happy to hear that, you know, Bennett University not only provides hostel, but provides the A-star rating kind of hostel facilities and campus life for the student would enjoy their life at Bennett. Now, moving ahead to another non-academic part, you know, we've heard a lot about clubs that are present at the university. So talk us about the clubs that are on offer, and how would a student be entertained through clubs, because we understand that there are approximately more than 30-35 clubs present. I might be wrong, to be more than that. So because if I have a passion for something, that is been taken up at the clubs itself. So maybe Dhruv, you can start first, and then we'll move to Aakash. If you can just help us understanding about the clubs first.
Right. So I was the technical head and the mentor for the Astronomy Club. So I mean, it's something which I have learned about on my own for till class 12th or so. And then I meeting those kind of people who have the same kind of passion for a topic you have. So there's not only the Astronomy Club, there's the Tech Club, there's the mechanics, like the Oasis Club. Then there's the Gamers Club. The Gamers Club is really fun place to be in. You get to know about, you get to meet all kind of people. And then there's the Anime Club. There's the Animation Club, of course. And then what else? So there's all kind of clubs over at Bennett. There's a Pulse, which keeps on organizing events, the happening events at the college. Then there's Spark, which is the entrepreneurship club. So we have all kinds of clubs. And then personally, from my experience at Astronomy Club, it helped me a lot actually with how I wanted to go up at one point. So how much I wanted to go in, and it also made me help me make connections. And the events we conducted, those were an exciting time of our life where you don't have any kind of time to think. You just have to do it, just keep on doing stuff. So those things are really interesting, to be honest. The club life, as many have seen in the TVs and the movies, so it's pretty much the same thing at the college. So you get to meet a lot of people from all kind of background, and you get to know them, you get to know their passion, and then you build your passion along with them.
Okay. So Aakash, you're in your final year. I'm sure you'd be missing all the fun that is happening apart from academics. So we would just want to hear more from you about the clubs, and you'd been present in few of the clubs too. So help us in understanding the importance of clubs too.
Yes. Clubs are important. I mean, the activities that they organize are extremely helpful in terms of making connections, making new friends, and enjoying your college life as usual. And as Dhruv mentioned, there was the Astronomy Club, which I was also a part of for quite some time, and we were taken to these different observatories in Nainital and other places as well, where we had quite a lot of fun interacting with the scientists over there. And we were taken to different workshops and stuff, which eventually helped us in making these connections, getting to know those professors, and eventually applying under them as well, for some different positions. And these are the benefits of having different clubs in the university. And I think that there are also clubs which take you traveling. I think there was a club called Nomads, which organizes trips for students across different places in India. And this is what exactly, I mean, you need apart from the academic lifestyle. You need to enjoy your college life as well as much. And the clubs are a part of any university, and I think the people who are handling these clubs are very capable of in terms of what they're doing.
Right. Now that we have a fair idea about the academic and non-academic part, both explained by the students, and this is what we wanted to know. In fact, this is what the audience wanted to know. They wanted to have a feedback about the curriculum. They wanted to know about the internship, and they wanted to also know about the labs. They wanted to know about the faculties. One final question to both of you. This is the last question for this particular session, and this is very important. Now, we want to know, in fact, the audience wanted to know about the scope of higher studies in this particular program, and also about the opportunities of placements provided through this program of BTech Engineering Physics. I'll come to you, Aakash, first, because you're in your final year. What are you exploring right now, opportunities in terms of jobs or higher studies, and what are the scope right now for this course of engineering physics?
So a student who is applying to physics, particularly to have a career in it, very well knows that it is important to pursue higher education. And these faculties that we have at Bennett are very well known internationally. So if you work properly under them for I don't know, for 2 or 3 years for a project, then a recommendation letter might get you very far. And this is what is the protocol for physics. And like I said, I mean, now my plan would be to pursue a master's degree in physics, where I did my bachelor thesis in Germany. So yeah, I mean, Bennett has prepared me in a way that allows me to choose my own specialization, and not only choose it, but rather be well versed in it. And I mean, the extensive coursework really allowed me to contribute a lot and that is why they want me back. So that's what happens. And about the jobs after engineering physics, since this degree has made you very well versed in things like simulations, coding, or mathematics, so a lot of finance companies do hire these BTech engineering physics graduates. And of course, I mean, if you are talking about finance companies, then the pay grade is much higher than anything else. So this is what happens. These are the perks of having an engineering physics degree, provided you do it very well. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Akash. We'll come to you, Dhruv, with the same question, because you're into your third year, and a year after this, you would also be looking for opportunities, maybe in terms of higher studies or placements. What are your plans right now when it comes to completion of this course of engineering physics and moving ahead?
So my plan currently would be look at some scope of for higher studies, and as Aakash has mentioned, if you do it properly under your professors at the college, then their recommendation letters can take you places. So that's what I would like to mention in my case also, that I will be trying to look for higher studies after this course. But even if people don't want to go for higher studies, it's not the end of the world, because you have the option for placements as well in the engineering physics course. As Aakash mentioned, you can go for the finance, or there can be roles in the SD, because you already have learned Python and BSA and everything. So you are as competent to go into an SD role as anyone else. And then then there are many departments such as quantum technology, as has been mentioned, as is an up and coming field. So there's a lot of jobs opening up in the field of quantum technology, and then there's a optic fiber communication and such. So there's a lot of job scope, placement scopes in the field of engineering physics, and the placement cell is doing an amazing job looking at the same and providing the same to the students. And so yeah, that's what I'd like to say and do.
Fantastic. I think right now, the students who have already watched this session live, and in fact, the parents and the students will be watching the recorded session, because this is going to be circulated to all the aspirants and all the applicants of BTech Engineering Physics, would have a clear idea about this particular course of engineering physics, not only about the curriculum that Bennett provides. We've also spoken about internship facilities. We spoke about, the kind of opportunities that have been given. The letter of recommendations you were talking about has also been told. So we've discussed every fact. We also spoke about the internship facilities, and we've also spoke about the hostel life and also campus facilities provided at Bennett. So with that, I would like to thank Aakash and Dhruv for being a wonderful sport and addressing to all the questions that have been put forward in front of you. But one last thing, this is what I would want to mention to all the audience. The students who have already applied for BTech in engineering physics, and you're just waiting to take the admissions, probably this session would have opened all the avenues of doubts that you have, and I'm sure most of them have been answered by my wonderful students, because the feedback of the students are very, very important, and that's what we have given you today. So right now the admissions are open. As we have told you, we've got very, very, very limited seats in this particular course, and this is the right time to go ahead and complete your admissions. Apart from that, we're also providing scholarships to meritorious students. So if you want to grasp these scholarships, you'll have to complete your admissions as soon as possible, because the university is planning to commence the classes by next month. So with that, thank you so much, Aakash. Thank you so much, Dhruv, for sparing your time and discussing about this particular program of BTech Engineering Physics, and giving us a wonderful feedback about not only the program, but how Bennett University has been providing you avenues for successful career. Aakash, you've just on the verge of completion of your course here. So all the best to you for your future endeavors that you'll be doing and going ahead. Dhruv, you have a year to do and complete with Bennett. So best of luck to you too for the upcoming final year that you have in hand. Thank you so much to all the audience for watching us live, and people who will be watching the recorded sessions. Until we meet for the next session next Wednesday with a new set of students, and also discussing about another program at Bennett University. Take care, good evening, and have a very, very wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.